You're tuning into Black and White Sports on YouTube. The no-holds-barred truth on sports. The main event starts now.
All right, Black and White Sports fans, we're going to be talking about Notre Dame. You guys probably know a few days ago, there was a Holtz survey that came out and deemed Notre Dame's mascot, the Fighting Irish, to be the fourth most offensive mascot in all of college sports. And when I saw this, and Rose put up a video on this, I was like, are they serious? And of course, you know, they went after Florida State. Florida State's mascot was number one, and it isn't offensive because the Seminole Nation and Florida State have a very, very good relationship. But we're going to be focusing on Notre Dame. This is absolutely insane, guys. Absolutely insane that the Fighting Irish is offensive. And the people that are offended by this, they of course are not fans of any kind of sports whatsoever. These are your Twitter robots over there, the NPCs that just kind of follow whatever they're programmed to do. And they essentially are offended by every single thing. Now, former head coach of Notre Dame, Lou Holtz, he has come out and defended the name. He's not going to buy in and bend a knee because we know that there are people out there that want Notre Dame to change the mascot because it is offensive. Well, if you're offended, that's your problem right there. There's nothing wrong with the Fighting Irish whatsoever. If you asked me this 20 years ago, I would have said, no, you're completely insane. There's no way in the world that that name is offensive. But hell, the Washington Redskins changed their name to, well, they don't have a mascot. Think of that. Everything is getting canceled. Everything is being deemed offensive now. So Lou Holtz went on with Fox and Friends. And if you actually check this out on Fox News here, ex-Notre Dame coach Lou Holtz SLAMS survey after Fighting Irish deemed offensive. Lou Holtz led the Fighting Irish to a national championship in 1988. And there is Lou Holtz right there. The man is still going strong. I believe he's 84 years old. And this is what he had to say. It says here, Lou Holtz, who coached Notre Dame and won a national championship with the team in 1988, defended the school's nickname after a survey found it to be one of the most offensive in college sports. Woke 2021. What can I say? Notre Dame, nicknamed the Fighting Irish, was said to have one of the most offensive mascots in the U.S. According to a survey from the Quality Logo Products blog, the Leprechaun came in fourth place behind Hawaii's Billy the Warrior, San Diego State's Aztec Warrior, and Florida State's Australia, I'm probably mispronouncing that, and Renegade. Holtz appeared on Fox and Friends on Thursday and told co-host Steve Odysee there was no reason to change the name because we know the woke mob demands blood. They demand that the name be changed. Quote, the students in Notre Dame, when I coached there for 11 years, they're proud to be a part of the Fighting Irish. The Irish have a great tradition, etc. But why does everybody have to say what you want to do? Well, of course, you know, if you don't bend the knee to the woke mob, the woke mob goes insane. He goes on, he says, there's a lot of things I don't like that I tolerate. That's part of life. That's part of the United States. It's part of free speech, he said. But we know these people really don't care about free speech. They want us to be communist China where there is no free speech. You see what's happening in Hong Kong, right? Free speech doesn't exist over there. They will put you down. Quote, but people, they get offended and try to bully and try to shut you up. But I think it's time for the silent majority to stand up and say no more. This is what we believe, and this is what is going to go on. This is our country, and this is the way it was founded. Holtz floated one theory about why Notre Dame is called the Fighting Irish in the first place. He said it was because of students standing up to the KKK. Now, I did not know this. He explains it right here. Quote, Notre Dame is standing up to the bullies. There are a lot of things in this world that I don't like, but this country gives you the right to say what you really feel. Let's understand where the Fighting Irish name came from. It came from a newspaper article in the 1920s. The KKK invaded South Bend. The students from Notre Dame, which at the time were all male, went down and confronted them, and there was a melee that followed. The headline in the paper read, "Fighting Irish," and that's where it really started, he said. I did not know that. I'm glad that he actually brought that up there. People don't like the flag. They don't like the Pledge of Allegiance. Yeah, because they want everything canceled. Everything in this world, they don't like. The Redskins. I'm glad he brought that up. Good Lord knows, let's have the ability to stand up. I used to think the First Amendment said I have the freedom of speech to say what I want and say what I feel. But let's not be intimidated any longer. It's time the silent majority stood up. And you know what? You can look at the bigger picture here because we're seeing censorship everywhere. Big tech, Twitter especially, even here on YouTube, channels get demonetized. We even had a channel get demonetized. Yeah, because they want us silent. But if you don't speak up, guess what? The woke mob will just get their way. Notre Dame said it had no intention of changing their name despite the survey, and they should not. But you know what? There's been other teams out there also that said, we will not change our name. We will not bend the knee. I believe the Washington Redskins said that at one point, and guess what? They're changing the name. The Kansas City Chiefs, they haven't changed their name yet, but it will happen as they are now changing stuff, banning stuff. Little by little, the name will be changed. The Atlanta Braves, they haven't changed their name. They said that they won't. They're holding steady so far. But eventually the mob will come for them. And this is just the beginning for Notre Dame right here, because this survey just came out a few days ago. And you'll start seeing the pressure on Twitter because the Looney Tunes out there, they believe that Twitter is the real world. I mean, guys, there's nothing offensive about the Fighting Irish. Nothing offensive about that. I know quite a few Irish people. They are very, very proud to be Irish, and they are not offended by Notre Dame's mascot. This is just pure insanity. Just like nobody was offended by the Washington Redskins. Yeah, you had a few people, but like I said, you'll find anybody that's offended by something. That doesn't mean you should start canceling every single thing just because you don't like it. And Lou Holtz, he touched on that as well. That's just my thoughts on this. What do you guys think of this? Black and white sports fans. Lou Holtz comes out and defends the Fighting Irish mascot. You're going to see much more of this, much more cancellation of mascots, much more cancellation of sports teams because of their mascots. This is woke sports. And ever since 2020, ever since George Floyd, everything has been offensive. The woke mob is alive and well. They are triggered by every single thing. If you don't think they're going to come for you, yes, they will. They will come for everything. They will never be satisfied. They're like the Terminator. They can't be bargained with. They can't be negotiated with. And they will absolutely not stop. Anyway, guys, let us know what you think about all this in the comments. Make sure you subscribe to Black and White Sports. And we'll catch you next time.
Thanks for watching the show. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Be sure to tune in next time on Black and White Sports.